Enough with if we hit 100 one more stream. We hit the goal now, or we don't play the game again, period. There's no negotiation, there's no bullshit. Either contribute now, or we don't see the game again. Too bad. This was laid out ahead of time. None of this nonsense. None of this around. Alright? I'm tired of it, quite frankly. I'm tired of people trying to mess around. Oh yeah, well, I'll wait till the last minute and then I'll... No. You should have supported, because now what's going to happen is people will complain. You have no right. There is absolutely no right whatsoever to complain that we're not playing this game again. I laid down the criteria. No one did it. What do you want me to do? I just care about money. I just can't help it. I'm so just enveloped in greed and money. I need money. I need money.
It's time for something interesting. It is time for something that you have asked for specifically. And originally,
you ended up playing this game because you couldn't play mods on Gay Tony. So just because people ask for it doesn't mean they owe you money. As if this guy doesn't have any control over his own stream, right? No, you guys asked for this. You demanded it. You were screaming at me. Somehow people are screaming at him about it. I don't know what voices he's got going on in his head, but he always says it. You guys are yelling at me. You're screaming.
we were going to skip over, because originally you guys yelled and screamed and said you need to play Metal Gear Solid Delta. And I said, all right, well, if we do Metal Gear Solid Delta, then we're not doing Silksong. So then I started playing Metal Gear Solid Delta, and it did good for a couple of streams. And then that tapered off, and everyone yelled at me and said, oh, why aren't you playing Silksong? And
how are people that are chatting to you yelling at you, right? Like, how are you interpreting somebody saying, hey, you should play Silksong as somebody yelling and screaming at you? It's bizarre to me.
We tried Silksong for one night last week because we couldn't get Ballad of Gay Tony working with mods, and you guys seemed to like it.
I also want to reiterate, because I think I said this in my last video, he couldn't get Ballad of Gay Tony to work. People weren't supporting it either, because obviously he couldn't get it to work. It was troubleshooting, it was crashing, it was just glitching out during the mission. He had very, very low support. Switched over to Silksong, he hit the goal like that. So DSP was like, screw Ballad of Gay Tony, let's change it up and play Silksong, because that's what's pulling in the money right now. So I think tonight he's pretty angry because the money's not flowing in like it did the first night. But he's calling this a test stream. And what bothers me so much about this is a test stream, but wouldn't Ballad of Gay Tony have been a test stream where he hit the goal playing Silksong? Like, all the money came in during Silksong because he was playing it.
Okay, so I told you guys I would do a test stream, a real solid whole stream of Hollow Knight Silksong, and we'll give it a go. You might say, well, why are you skeptical about it, that it's going to work? Because it's a Metroidvania. And I have tried Metroidvania games over the years many, many times. I've tried more action-based ones. I tried RPG-style ones. I tried ones that were actually Metroid games, like Super Metroid. In all the years that I've tried playing a Metroidvania, only one ever worked.
That's pretty crazy, considering this guy plays Suikoden 2, a JRPG that's incredibly boring to watch. It's just him reading the dialogue for 2 hours. But this game is boring to watch, and these games don't work. Tell me how that makes any sense. It's just like, this guy refuses to understand that some nights he'll just have slow support, and it is what it is. Those whales that he counts on, they're not going to be there every night. And I think, especially lately, these people haven't showed up. I mean, his top contributors on Kick, look at Your Future Stepdad. That guy used to gift tons of subs over there. Now he'll gift like 1 to 3 subs a night or something, you know? You gotta kind of like look in the mirror, DSP. I think people are sick of the BS. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. I'll own up to it if next week he gets all the support in the world, whatever. But that's just what I think is going on here. It also doesn't make sense to me that this guy's playing a brand new game everybody's been hyped for. Some people are calling it Game of the Year. And he's like, well, people don't really want this. They don't do well on my channel. People don't like Metroidvanias. And then he goes and plays Suikoden 2, like a 30-year-old game, you know? It's not that old, but...
Let's see now that I'm getting a good solid chunk into the game. Does it work? Is it entertaining? Are you guys engaging? Are you supporting? Are we having a great time?
At the end of the stream, you guys will come to realize one thing. I mean, most of y'all realize this already because it's so obvious if you watch DSP. But only one of those things matters. It's the support. People can come, they can engage, they can talk and chat, they can do whatever. But at the end of the day, if he doesn't hit those goals, he says, nobody's supporting, and he drops the game. So why does engagement even matter? It doesn't. You could have nobody in the chats. As long as people are sending $50, $20, $10, and chat silent, whatever. And I know that's not fully true because I feel like DSP banks a lot off on chat engagement to have things to talk about and have substance to his streams, because otherwise it's just him 15 years ago sitting on the couch.
And I'm willing to do this as a daytime stream later this week. If tonight it's kind of like, it's not great, but it's not terrible, then I'll probably give it a shot as a nighttime stream later in the week again. We'll see, like, where does it fit in better, okay? The way I see it, this game is long, right? So probably it works better as daytime streams. I would be willing to do that.
Why are we talking about this in the beginning, though, right? Like, this feels, if anything, this should be something you talk about at the end of the stream. Like, well, you know, I think we should move it to night streams. We didn't have a whole lot of people here. Like, it is what it is. Thanks for y'all who showed up, and, you know, we'll probably just do night streams for a little while for this one. But he has to have a precursor to everything he does, being like, all right, guys, he has to dangle the carrot in front of his audience before every stream. Like, all right, guys, here's the precursor. Like, if we do well tonight, the game stays. If you don't support, the game goes. So, you know, send me all your money if you really want the game to stay.
Actually come and support this playthrough. All right? Last week, on the fly out of nowhere, in the middle of the Ballad of Gay Tony failure stream, I announced, hey, let's just try it. And I played it for an hour, and people showed up and started supporting. I was like, whoa, I'm shocked, okay?
I want you to keep in mind what he said right here. People supported this stream when he played Silksong. That was the first stream that he played it. And he's going to turn around and do this later on.
No, Bloomkit, listen, he says Kronos missed a goal. Give Silksong another chance. Kronos missed a goal on the first stream. Then it hit a goal on its second stream. It got really close. So basically, Kronos is doing good.
So Silksong hit a goal on its first stream, and it missed a goal on its second stream, Phil. See the pattern here? It's just you're picking and choosing what games you want to keep. Because it actually did the opposite. So why didn't you drop Kronos on the first stream? If this was its first test stream of Silksong, why didn't you just drop this game? But it actually hit the goal in the first stream. That's why you did the second test stream. I don't even know why you called it a test stream. I think you have a habit of hyping things up that they'll continuously hit goals. And sometimes they do. Sometimes people enjoy it. But that's the whole thing of streaming, is you're not guaranteed anything. Listen, Phil, you could have one guy over here tip you $1,700 on PayPal and walk home with a big chunk of change on this stream. Or you could have nobody contributing and you could walk home with $5 on tonight's stream. That's the thing with streaming, is nothing is guaranteed, dude. You can have up days, you can have down days, but nope, this guy needs consistent up days. That's what it is. It's like the second things go bad, the second he stops seeing money from something, boom, gone. Especially lately. It's been really, really bad lately. A week or two ago, we had, you know, guys, I don't have enough room on my schedule for all these games coming out, and now he's getting rid of all these games, and it's like, well, what do we play? What do we put on the schedule now? It's like you just dropped everything that you could have played, dude. But all right, let's get back to the video here.
That's the thick of things. That's how it goes tonight. I'll be honest, right now, the chat's barely moving. So I don't know what's going on. It's like a snail. And for the amount of people who yelled at me to play this game and said they wanted it, the fact that we have 140 people on YouTube only.
Yeah, but if everybody donated $1 right now, we would hit the goal, right? Could ask. You know, ask and you shall receive. It doesn't hurt, Phil, right?
How many are on Kick right now? 40. 140 on YouTube and 40 on Kick. It's not looking very good. Now, I'm not starting yet. We're going to start in about 15, 20 minutes. So we'll have a little bit of build up. Hopefully more people show up. We'll find out. Okay?
I don't know. I just feel like maybe you should have capitalized on the game earlier and you would have got more money, because everything he does is a late stream. Like, even when a game comes out on release day, he could be packing in those early numbers. But he'll do a 2-hour podcast. And it's like, you really think people who are going to tune in for a day one stream that aren't regular fans of Phil, so you're trying to get your numbers pumped up and like new people coming in and new donations, you really think they're going to stick around for a 2-hour podcast or a 2-hour hangout Q&A session? They don't care about. They're there for the game. And I'm not speaking for everybody. Your regulars, I'm sure they love the podcasts and stuff, you know. But I'm talking about the majority of people that you're trying to pull in for those day one views. They're like, who is this guy? Why am I going to sit here and talk about snack pizzas, you know?
Exactly. It's a market trial. I guess that's the best way to call this. It's a market trial.
It's a market trial. Okay, Phil. Man loves video games.
For Silksong. Let's see how it goes, okay? No, I did not hit a support goal for Suikoden 2. I didn't expect I was going to. It's very rare if I do. I think in the entire...
He sure asked, though. He asked quite a bit, and he was getting frustrated earlier. Let's take a look at one of those. So this was from his Suikoden 2 stream yesterday that he didn't expect support for.
Exaggeration. Since the podcast, I've gotten $6 of support. I take that back because it was a tip from Ryu. So probably like $15 of support. So even with the podcast raising $50, this hasn't helped at all. Like, dang, I tried. I'm trying to do it properly. Really, I am, but I don't know what else to do. What's weird is when we played Suikoden 1 earlier this year, we got support every stream. And it was a select group that came and supported, but we hit the goal like every stream, which is why I committed to playing this later in the year.
So he's saying that he had a select group of people that came and supported Suikoden 1, and he was expecting those people to come back and support Suikoden 2. That's why he was doing it. But here we are telling people that he wasn't expecting to hit the goal. I don't know why he looks like that, frozen. Yeah, so that's kind of contradictory in a sense.
Well, so far I'm not seeing it. So far we got one super chat for Silksong, and then we got a bunch of jokers over there doing moral support on Kick. So, I don't know. All right, are we ready to start?
At least they're engaging, right? That's what you're asking for. They're not supporting, but they are engaging. Technically, actually, those guys are supporting because you do get paid hourly on Kick. So even if it's a couple cents, you can't say they're not supporting. Even though they're popping their little moral support things in chat, they still are supporting. So I think y'all should move to YouTube then, because he says you're not supporting anyway, so you may as well just start creating YouTube accounts.
That is so lame. Guys, if you're enjoying me playing Hollow Knight Silksong, please support the stream. So far, we've had nearly no support, which is exactly, literally, what I said was going to happen because no one supports Metroidvania games. You told me I was wrong and I should play this game. That's why we're doing it tonight. Please support the stream.
How he has any actual fans, I don't know. But I could never listen to a streamer talk to me like a baby. I'm just saying, don't ever talk to me like a child. You guys aren't supporting. Like, don't reprimand me for something that I'm not entitled to give you in the first place. You know?
Counter it, so. All right, when I beat this boss, let's get some support for the game. We're almost halfway through tonight's stream already. And all the support came in, I'm not even kidding you, before I started playing the game. Since I started playing the game, I received $1 of support. Yeah, so this is starting to tell me what I thought about Metroidvanias. I'm just being honest, okay?
The thing is, can you just continuously blame games until there's none left to play? And just drop every game in existence that you ever put your hands on because people just don't want that game, right? I think he's actually sick. You're blaming the genre of game that you're playing when you play things like JRPGs that are infinitely more boring to watch than a game like this. Just saying. But you can endlessly blame games and just say, it's the game's fault. It's the game's fault. But never take responsibility and say people aren't supporting the game. If people wanted to support the game, Phil, they'd go and buy the game and support the developer. People are here supporting the streamer, and he'll never understand that, or at least he won't let his audience believe that. It's almost an insult to the developers of a game like this when Phil says stuff like, well, you guys clearly didn't like the game. You guys clearly didn't want to support the game. Well, if they want to support the game, they would buy it from the developer. If they wanted to support Darkside Phil, they would contribute to Darkside Phil playing the game.
Pino did a Canadian $1, which is literally 60 cents, so I can't even add that to the leaderboard. Thank you, Pino. Oh,
can't round up.
All right, well, we played for an hour. So far, personally, I like the game. It's definitely challenging, but I like it, okay? Let's see how things go in the next hour. Cool.
Cool.
All right. Now, guys, I don't even think I have to say it, do I? I've been playing Silksong for an hour. Before we started playing, I received $20 of support. I played for an hour, and I got $2 of support. You all said you were dying for me to play this. You all said to play Silksong. You all said...
I just want y'all to, like, keep tuning into this, because it gets worse. It gets worse at the end. I played a brief clip in the beginning in the intro, but it gets worse. Promise that. I promise you that it gets worse.
Change the schedule around, get it in there. How dare I? Why would I be skipping Silksong, the brand new game, to play other games that are older games? This is what I should be playing. All right? Well, here we are.
Well, yeah, you dropped a game that people paid for to play this game, dude, because it made you money on the stream that you're supposed to play the other game, but you couldn't play the other game because your mods messed it up, but you never promised to play that game with mods, and all of a sudden now the game won't work with mods, so you're not playing the game at all. Like, Phil, you don't deserve to be supported at all for this behavior. Honestly, you need to make things right with your audience. Phil, you promised to play Ballad of Gay Tony. You never said you were going to do it with mods. And your whole shtick playing GTA 4 was support these streams, guys, and I will play the Ballad of Gay Tony. Well, people supported those streams, and he didn't play Ballad of Gay Tony. He dropped it for this game, and now this game's on thin ice.
Well, I'm glad that you like the game. I mean, like I said, I like it too. I know I like Metroidvanias. I want to make this clear. I like Castlevania.
Yep, Phil, you love this game. You like Metroidvanias. It's your audience that doesn't, because we just blame our audience for everything. When things aren't going right, well, the audience doesn't like it. You know, You only currently have a mod in your chat says they are used for skills you get later. You have another guy saying, I like the game so far. You got your kick chat saying, I wanted Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. So, you know, it is what it is, right?
You know, I cannot just play the game just for nothing. You know what I mean? This is a business. We got to find streams of games that people want, and we'll show up and support. Currently, people are showing up and supporting most of my games. Right now, the only one that's not getting support is Suikoden, but that's to be expected. It's a classic Japanese RPG. I outright told you that I was skeptical about this game because it's a Metroidvania, and people do not usually show up and support Metroidvania. I'm being honest.
And why should they? When you act like this and you berate your audience for not supporting a game like this and you refuse to play it and you stop every 5 seconds to complain about the game, why should anyone support this game in the first place? Okay, and you are proving that point. Why should anyone support this? Why should anyone support this right here? Well, you know, arms crossed, pissed off, acting like a child. This is toddler behavior, dude. This is Wolverine action figure behavior. You're not getting your way, so now we're just gonna bitch and complain the whole stream. You know how he always talks about people whining in his chat and whining? Look at what he does constantly here. This whole stream has been him whining between segments.
So, you know, this was a test stream. We got an hour left. If we do well and we get support in the next hour, then we'll play it again. If there's no support coming the next hour, then I'm not playing this again. And that's the end of it. And I don't want to hear a single person ask for it again. I'm serious. Because this is why
But he'll end up being wishy-washy here. And I know I'm spoiling a little bit ahead because I don't know if I'm really going to fully show the daily wrap. But he put out a daily wrap video. After this stream, this disaster stream ended, apparently he recorded 2 daily wraps and he had to do a take 2 because who knows how bad and pissed off he was on the first one, right? But in the daily wrap, he essentially says, look, you know what? We're just going to watch it. On the daily wrap, at the end of tonight, second take, this is what Phil says about Silksong.
if you couldn't be here for Silksong, but you want to support the playthrough and you want to see me play it, leave a super thanks on the video. If you couldn't make the stream tonight and you can make tomorrow's streams, attend tomorrow's streams and support them and say, this support is for Silksong. If we hit 56 bucks,
Phil wants retroactive support for this game now. If you come and show up tomorrow and you support, you send me donation saying, I want Silksong back, then I'll bring it back. After saying, don't ask him about it. Because it gets worse, believe me. I know I'm skipping ahead and this is a little jumbled. I'm sorry, but just bear with me, right? And for the record, nobody super thanked the video. So I guess people don't want the game. But there were a lot of pissed off comments on this video, I'll tell you that. Got over 1,000 views too, which is high for a Phil video. So, you know, you can tell there's some interest in watching the crash out.
okay? It's not that I'm not willing to try stuff, it's that people don't like it. I don't know what to tell you. I can't make viewers show up and support a certain style of game that they don't like.
But
These
they're
have not
engaging.
worked. The only one that's ever worked was Metroid Dread.
He's so mad.
No, I don't have time to play games off stream because I'm on stream all day playing games, so I don't play games off stream. Nope.
I wish I had the little stupid close-up animation that he does where he's like, how true is that, Phil? What doesn't make sense to me is he watches his wife play games off stream. He's already admitted this. Sometimes she'll be playing stuff on the couch and he'll watch her play. Or they watch content creators playing games together, apparently, I don't know. So I feel like there probably is some game playing off stream. Maybe he plays co-op with Kat. I can't imagine that they don't play any games together, right? It would be silly that they watch content creators and they do all this stuff together, but they don't play games together at all, right? Does that make any sense to anyone? If they're both into video games, they both like playing them, they have similar interests in some games, they watch streamers play games together, what makes you think that they don't play games off stream? It would just be weird. I don't know. You just not do anything with Kat together? That's a similar hobby or interest that you guys have. Why wouldn't you do it together? Seems weird to me. Not that my girl plays video games. We do other things together, the mutual interests. But either way, if you both have a hobby in something, why wouldn't you do it together? If you both like mountain biking, why wouldn't you just go mountain biking together, right? You just watch people mountain bike on YouTube. You just never have done it together, right? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, I'm going to post up because I'm seriously not going to have a single excuse. Everyone said they wanted this. Where are these people? So I'm going to post up again on Twitter. I'm going to post up again on my channel. This is it. We got an hour left. If you show up and you put your money where your mouth is, you're going to support the stream. Great. If not, don't ask for this again. So let's see what happens.
This is like SCORN levels of begging. When he got called out by Moist Critical, where are these people that said they were going to support the game? And he goes on Twitter and YouTube and he puts this post out. Like, look at the begging in the tweets here too. So this is before the stream started. I'm willing to give the game a rotation, but will it actually work? Tonight's stream performance will determine if I do a full playthrough. And so this is the tweet that he put out as he was typing. He stopped his stream for like 5 minutes or whatever, put out a tweet and started typing this up. Halfway through tonight's Silksong stream, and I'm really liking it, but as expected, engagement and support are incredibly low, as they always are for a Metroidvania game. I'm playing for 1 more hour, so if you wanted this, now is your chance. I couldn't resist the urge. I commented on this. I was expecting to get blocked, but this was him typing the tweet. I was on my phone, and I was on the couch, and I was like, oh my god. So he was sitting there. Look how pissed off he is. He's typing this tweet away. He looked like this for like a good minute. And he said, there's almost 300 of you on YouTube and 100 of you on Kick. You can support the stream, and I'll play that clip. And then I said, for comparison, Phil, because you know how Phil does his business comparisons and stuff like that. I said, no sandwich shop worker ever better demand tips from me. I'm just saying. Imagine you're in a sandwich shop and there's a line of like 10 customers. So the first couple customers go in and they pay and they don't tip, or they tip like $1 or whatever. It's low tips. Not enough for him to like pay his bills. So after a couple people, he starts getting pissed. And he's like, there's 7 of you in here. You can support me by tipping. You can support the shop. I'd turn around and walk out, dude. You could never talk to me like that, especially money that you're not owed. It's a tip, Phil. You know what a tip is? A tip is for good service. If you're a good streamer, people will tip you because you do a good job. Oh, ironically, that was the next thing after this.
Another hour, again, please support this stream. There's literally almost 300 of you on YouTube. There's over 100 of you on Kick. You can support the stream. If you actively choose not to, then don't ask for this game again. Okay?
Don't ask for this game again. But you can tip me tomorrow and ask for this game, right? Come on, so pathetic. And it's such a mean way to treat your audience. Like, don't ask for this game again. And then he gets on his daily rap and he's like, if you guys really wanted the game, you know, tip me tomorrow. It's like, it's a guilt trip, right? Because he wants the money so bad, he's going to treat you a certain way to try to get you to feel guilty and give him money. But then he realizes it doesn't work at the end of the stream. He doesn't hit his goal. So what he says is, well, I know there are people out there that wanted it, so, you know, you can retroactively tip me for the game and just put Silksong in the tip or something, or super thanks this video. He's running out of options.
Well, Sabus GTA says this honestly is a fun watch, better than the other games in the schedule. Okay, cool. So support the stream then, please. Make it so that it's going to be worth it to play the game, especially because I've heard it's a very long game, right?
So he treats that guy like dirt because it's a Kick LARPer, right? I assume anyway. Let's take a look at what this other guy says.
Legitimately, that's terrible. Thank you, Mozzie, for a $2 super chat. Say, sorry the support is slow for the game. This is ridiculous. I don't know what to tell you, Mozzie. You're here. You're seeing it with your own eyes, correct?
So we told that guy 5 minutes ago to support. This guy sends a $2 super chat. He's like, you're seeing it with your own eyes, right? So this is an interesting dynamic because this Mozzie dude super chatted $2 about 5 minutes after Sabus GTA that just got criticized for not supporting. Sabus GTA was just saying, hey, look, I'm liking the game. I'm liking the stream so far. Phil tells him to support. This guy sends him $2 and he goes, you're seeing it with your own eyes, right? So listen to the dynamic between the people that send him money, even if it's $1 or $2, versus the people that haven't sent him anything. He treats one group like shit because they haven't given him any money. And he treats one group like, oh, you're seeing this, right? Like, nobody's giving me money, dude. He treats them like they're on a pedestal, even the guys gave him $2.
Oh, come on. That's just bullshit. Dude, now you're not going to read my input. Dude, I'm serious. 3 times in a row.
Dude.
3 times in a row, didn't read the input. Okay.
What do you mean it didn't read the input? I mean, maybe this game should have borrowed from GTA 4 with its overly sensitive inputs where you could graze a button and it registers it, right? Were you using the same controller though, Phil? I'm curious for GTA and this one, because GTA seemed to pick up all your inputs, even ones you graze buttons on, but this one doesn't pick up anything. What's going on there, Phil? They just do a shitty job programming the game? Let's talk about that.
Well, guys, we got about a half an hour left on this premiere stream of Silksong. We got a lot of work to do. We're only at $30 of support. So I don't know if people are just messing with me or think it's funny, but I'm telling you right now, this was the test stream. So far, it's failing the test. And if we don't get support tonight, I'm not playing this ever again. Nor am I entertaining any requests for it, so.
Except his own. Because on the daily rap, remember, he'll play it again if you show up tomorrow or you super thanks his daily rap video saying you want Silksong. If you give him retroactive tips tomorrow saying you want Silksong back, he'll entertain it again. But it's on his own terms, because, you know, that's how Phil works. Nothing's ever black and white. It's just mildly different colors of gray. I don't know.
It is a tough game. I actually do like it. It is frustrating to die, but I know that I'll get better.
And 7 minutes have
So
passed.
we're up to 63 bucks of support out of the 150 goal with a half an hour left on stream, guys. So let's get some support. If you want to see me play and persevere through Silksong, I'm down for it. I like the game, but we need people to support the stream. Let's go and let's get some support right now. Oh,
Right
we got it.
now.
I'm getting different results when I do the same inputs.
You're getting different results when you do the same inputs? Phil, what? I don't know. Any of y'all played Silksong that can confirm that? Because that sounds like a load of bull. At some point, you gotta be like, am I the issue? Oh, no, I guess you don't. You could always be in denial. Some people are.
Okay. Still took damage. Guys, this is it. The last 10-15 minutes of the stream. So we have about 10-15 minutes to hit the goal. And if we don't hit the goal, I'm not playing this again. Because again, this was an experiment. And all I'm seeing right now is that my thoughts were absolutely true and correct. That people don't actually like Metroidvania games on my streams. Because if I can get, let me put it this way. If I can get more support for Suikoden 2, if I can get more support for Chronos, if I can get more support for Metal Gear Solid Delta, if I can get more support for Capcom vs. SNK 2, like every game I'm playing in the rotation has done better than this game did tonight, that means that no one wants this game. On my streams, I'm not saying it's a bad game. In fact, like I said, is it frustrating? Yes, but it's the kind of game that like it's rewarding when you overcome challenge. Just like, it's just going to be a tough one, but I would do it. But not for this. Not for not even hitting half of a goal of support. So this is it. Last chance to support the stream. And someone is tipping $2 and saying we like Silksong, but times are tough. Well, then don't ask for Silksong. If people can support other games.
So if people can't afford to ask for games or request games for Phil to play, do we just sit here and do Q&As all day? To be honest, dude, times are tough for a lot of people. A lot of people are out of jobs. Unemployment is high right now. What's crazy about this statement is Phil just basically said that money dictates his streams, right? Unless you send money, you have no right to request or have any input on what goes on in a Dark Side Phil stream. If you can't afford to send me money for playing this game, you have no right to ask for it. That right there is the mentality of a creator that needs to go. You're past your prime, dude. You're not treating this like what it is anymore. You're not an entertainer. You're not entertaining audience. You're not having fun. You're just demanding money from people. You're treating this like it's a business, and it's not. Unfortunately, as much as you want to say, hey, I'm a streamer and this is my business, this is what I do, this is how I make a living and feed my family. If you need to say things like that to justify your answer and people not giving you money, they have no right to say anything and criticize your business, you're doing it wrong. Sorry. This isn't the type of industry, Phil, where you can call shots like that. You need to go base your streams and your content off of what people want, because otherwise you're dead in the water. So what happens when a couple people who probably don't have a whole lot of money to give to Phil plead for Phil to keep playing the game? Let's see what he says.
Games. And obviously times aren't that tough, and people are supporting every other game I played, and I suspected this would happen, and it did, so that's that. Okay.
Before I go into that, this just distracted me. If times aren't that tough, Phil, why do you need so much money on a stream to get by? Why do you need $300 a day? That's more than most people need to live 6 days a week. You know, what's going on that you need all this money? And if times aren't tough, why are you demanding money from people and telling them they have no input on your streams if they can't give you money? I mean, you've got the nerve to ask for support over and over and over in your streams, but you're going to say times aren't tough? A load of bullshit.
Someone tipped $2, says, please keep playing Silksong. I will if we hit the goal, but we got to do it now because this is the end of the stream. We're at $69, so get us to the goal of 150. I'll play it again.
Just for context, Suikoden 2 that he played earlier ended at $71, so he's $2 short of that stream, and that was a 4-hour stream. This is a 2-hour stream. Actually, that was technically a 5-hour stream. He had the podcast and everything. So even with all that extra time, this game's still making more in a shorter amount of time.
So now's your chance. All right, so I'm going to try to clear this final area, and that's it for the stream. So this is absolute last chance if you want to see Silksong again. If you do, support the stream right now, or else that's it.
He's a piece of work, man.
I like it. Air Dash is probably going to make the game way better. Bullshit. You saw how far he dashed? He literally dashed the entire screen. But I can't. You know, I have to play what people want, and it's apparent from tonight. The only people who showed up tonight, there's a few people who liked the game, and thanks to those who did support it. mostly troll viewers watching to see if I'm going to hit the goal and it's going to continue. Very little support. Literally, this is the least supported stream that I've had of all the games I'm playing. Earlier today, I played Suikoden 2.
The thing is, if you're such a chill guy and you just like, you hate the trolls and you just want to have a fun time, you don't understand why everyone trolls you and why all these people suddenly show up to your streams, take a step back for a sec, Phil. Why don't you go rewatch one of your streams to realize why you get trolled? Because it's pretty quick that you'll come to that conclusion that you do things like this and you constantly ask for money. You treat people a certain way that's condescending. I feel like the mentality of people is like, oh, let's go in and troll Darkside Phil because he's pissed off about playing a video game and he's not getting enough money for playing a video game and he's demanding things from people. Why do you think you get trolled, Phil? Because you kind of deserve it with the way you treat your audience like this, whether you call them trolls or LARPers or whatever. And I'm not even trying to say that to be mean. I'm not like trying to troll Phil or anything. Most of the comments that I've made on this video are just obviously my opinion, but are based off of merit and based off of things that he's saying and doing and past conclusions and past streams and his attitude. Like, you have to judge things based off of how they appear to you. And if you're just someone that comes into a stream and this is what you see, you're probably not going to have a high opinion of this guy. If you're one of those people that just pops into a stream, you don't really know who Darkside Phil is, maybe you've seen a couple clips of him, and you pop into a stream like this, you're very quickly going to come to a conclusion about what type of streamer Darkside Phil is.
And had more support. So, exactly. Earlier today, I played Suikoden 2 and had more support. So,
that's actually a lie. He's at $74 right now, and he ended Suikoden 2 at 71. You can see the top King's Tack, 71 of 150. So there he is. He lied. We had more support for Suikoden 2 than we had for this game, but Suikoden 2 ended at $71, and Silksong is at 74. So there's Phil lying to your face. Just for more context, if you go to Raw Phil, he does post. When Phil doesn't hit the goal, he posts what the end King's Tax is. So you can see 71 of 150. Hollow Knight Silksong ended at 94 of 150. And even at this point where he's calling it out, Phil is at $74. So it's a lie.
I tried my best, and I want to say thanks to those who were here tonight and those who watch it on demand, but it is what it is. What can I do, right? I gave it a shot. I laid out exactly.
I mean, you could say you gave it a shot. Phil, in a sense, he did give it a shot. He did play the game for a stream, technically two. But as if you're not the streamer, as if you're not the person that everybody's watching, and you have such a rotten attitude, and every, like, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, I don't even know, like, frequently. I mean, you guys have been watching me cover them all so far. He's been stopping his streams to complain about support. He's had a bad attitude the entire playthrough. So why would people support somebody who's got such a miserable, bad attitude towards something like this, right? It just doesn't make any sense.
Exactly the criteria, and
laid out the
we
criteria.
all see what happens. It's in black and white. It's not disputable. People don't want Silksong, or they would have come by.
Well, people want Silksong more than Suikoden 2, so why are you playing Suikoden 2? Maybe you should drop that game. Throw Silksong in its place. It made more money.
And supported this stream, and they did not. Okay? All right, well.
He tried. That's what the next word's going to be.
So I'm not shocked that tonight didn't go well. When people were yelling at me last week and said, play Silksong. Why are you playing Ballad of Gay Tony? Why are you playing Metal Gear? Why are you playing this? You should be playing Silksong. That's all anyone wants, Silksong. This is why. All
you're telling me is that you don't know how to run your own business. You're dropping games and then you're playing other games and you have to drop those because people don't want those either. So what are we doing here, Phil? You don't even know what the people want. You've been doing this for 17 years, creating content, and you don't know what content your own audience wants after 17 years. That's the scary part.
All right, let me get everything on and say goodnight. And that's that. Now we got to figure out what the schedule will be for the week because we're not playing Silksong. Okay.
It's like when he begs to hit donation goals for DSP Tries It. He's like, come on, guys, we got to hit the 3 goals by today or my wife has to cook. It's like the same thing there.
No, Bloomkit, listen, he says Kronos missed a goal. Give Silksong another chance. Kronos missed a goal on the first stream. Then it hit a goal on its second stream. It got really close. So basically, Kronos is doing good in general. It's not hitting a goal every stream, but it's doing good. This was the test stream for the game. The test stream. And it failed the test stream. Okay?
Oh, it failed the test stream. Wouldn't the test stream have been the time you played it when you couldn't play Ballad of Gay Tony the other day and you did hit the goal? Wouldn't that have been the test stream? Because, yeah, impromptu played it. Remember how Phil doesn't play games impromptu, really? He'll do Q&As before he plays the game because the audience that's supposed to show up for it, they don't know that he's playing it. So he always gives people a hard time about playing games on the fly. Like, oh, we can't do this, we can't do that because, you know, the crowd for that game isn't here for it. Yet he played that game on a whim and hit the goal that night. So that should have been your test stream. If maybe you could have done better tonight if you didn't go in with such a rotten mentality and treat people like dirt. Well, if you like the game, you better support it, you know, to that guy that was like, I'm enjoying the playthrough. Well, you better send me money.
Keemstar says, my favorite games don't hit goals. Then you should support the games, and you didn't. So
That's not true, Phil, because if they want to support the game, like I said earlier, they should buy the game and support the developer. That's supporting the game. If they want to support the streamer, aka Darkside Phil, they should donate to you playing Silksong. But maybe tonight you had such a rotten mentality, you had such a rotten attitude that people didn't want to support that baby behavior. Maybe they didn't want to support the streamer because you went in with such a poor vision about how the game was going to go. Oh, it's a test stream, guys, blah, blah, blah. Maybe just play the game and entertain an audience and you would have done better. I don't know.
listen, I'm still here, and no one's contributing, so what do you want me to do? I'm still here. I stayed extra late. I got to get the fuck out of here. I'm tired. I can't stay here late every night. I just can't. I've been in here in this fucking office every night super late. I should be spending time with my wife. I'm tired of this shit.
It's your fault, dude. Nobody's telling you got to stay late. You show up late, too. You start your streams earlier, you can get out of there earlier. Like any job. Actually, I guess that's not true for real jobs. Just ignore what I said. Some jobs are like that, though. You can go in early and leave early if you set your own schedule.
All right, guys. So tomorrow, there is not a podcast tomorrow because tomorrow morning, I'm going to be doing... Okay. Well, we still didn't hit it. We're at 94. We still didn't hit the goal, but we did.
He's already ended the game, and he's like, if we hit the goal right now, guys, at the end of the stream where I'm doing nothing but crossing my arms and staring at chat, I'll keep the game going. I'll keep it in rotation.
Get closer. So, guys, I'm sorry. I really tried. I tried my hardest. I like the game.
He tried his hardest on that. Kind of debatable. I feel like he just complained. He'd stop the game to complain about support. How are you trying your hardest? You're not entertaining. That's the problem.
Enough with if we hit 100 one more stream. We hit the goal now, or we don't play the game again, period. There's no negotiation. There's no bullshit. Either contribute now, or we don't see the game again. Too bad. This was laid out ahead of time. None of this nonsense. None of this fucking around. All right? I'm tired of it, quite frankly. I'm tired of people trying to mess around. Oh, yeah, well, I'll wait till the last minute and then I'll... Blah, blah. No. You should have supported, because now what's going to happen is people will complain. You have no right. There is absolutely no right whatsoever to complain that we're not playing this game again. I laid down...
People are absolutely allowed to complain. Just because they don't give you money doesn't mean they have no right to criticize your stream. Sorry. Is what it is. Just because your audience didn't buy you the Wolverine figure doesn't mean you can just yell at them for the rest of eternity and they can't say anything about it.
The criteria, no one did it. What do you want me to do? All right.
All right. That's it. A lot of complaints. Horrible mentality. And with that one, folks, you know, we'll see how today goes. I'm sure we'll hear about it on the podcast or whatever he's doing, and we'll follow up, I guess. But yeah, my message for Darkside Phil is, dude, be a little more positive next time. Maybe you'll get a little more support. Stop treating your audience like dirt. And be a nicer human. It can go a long way, believe me. All right, y'all. Like, comment, subscribe if that's what y'all like to do. Appreciate y'all. And we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.